Hey guys, hope everybody's doing good on this Sunday. I just want to take some time to make the video about rates. I'm up on a 34 reset in South Dakota right now, so I figure I got some time to talk to you guys, discuss rates. Sitting back here on my trailer. It's nice beautiful weather up here today. Yesterday was kind of nasty with some wind, but anyway, just want to discuss what goes into rates. In a sec, I'll show you kind of what kind of stuff I haul and specialty stuff we do. Have a chance of running with a friend of mine right now that I work with, and we're both hauling the same stuff to a good customer of ours. But anyway, we're going to talk about rates for a second. And with rates, there's a lot of things that have to go into it when you're giving a customer a rate. We have a lot of things right now in this market with a lot of competition. There's a lot of people that like to go cheap. So you got to figure in what's fair to you, what's fair to your customer. You don't want to go too high and really kind of stick it to your customer, but you want to do what's fair to you. It's not going to make you go out of business. So a lot of what goes into our rates is we have to include what the cost of running the truck is and figure that in. So with that, we'll start with that part of it. Trucks are not cheap. They're not cheap to maintain. They're not cheap to keep operational. So there's a lot of things that go into that. And so with that, we have to figure in our oil changes. We have to figure in possible breakdowns, tires. Tires are a big part of it. Especially for trailers. We burn through a lot of tires with trailers a lot faster than our trucks. Then you have to figure in the trailer expense, what it's going to cost to maintain and keep the trailer operational. And then you got to plan for future breakdowns. So you got to figure out what percentage of every mile you need to figure out what it costs to run that truck for that mile. So you got to count in that parts are expensive right now. In our economy, the way it is right now, it's super expensive, and they're hard to come by. There's a lot of stuff that nobody knows when things are going to be available or if they're going to be able to get them. So you got to figure in you're going to have downtime, especially if the truck goes down. So you got to count that into your rate too. So so that goes into part of it. Then you get into fuel. Fuel is a big part. So you got to figure out what your average fuel is going to be for the lane that you're trying to build a job on, and then you have to figure that into the calculation. I figure it costs me about $2 a mile for the truck to maintain it and operate it in certain lanes. There are lanes that are going to California that are up to like $275. And I might be on the low end on the eastern lanes, but that's kind of where my average is you're looking at anywhere between $2 to $250 a mile, just bare minimum. That's just bare minimum. And that constantly is changing because the states are constantly changing what they call IFTA, IFTA fuel tax. That's basically what we have to keep track of as we drive through the states, and we have to pay the federal government so that we can maintain our roads, basically. So that goes into a lot of our fuel rate as well, as we got to make sure that IFTA is getting taken care of and paid, because we can't run if that's not paid. We will get held up at port of entries and things like that. It puts a big flag out if the company gets flagged on that. So you got to figure out like which states charge what. California right now is $1 a mile for IFTA, from what I understand. Other states are cheaper, but they run from anywhere from I think 45 cents and up for certain states. So you got to figure that in. So beyond that, then you got to figure out what's fair for you. You know, you're trying to build a company or you're trying to stay afloat. Well, you got to figure I got to make a profit. So in our profit, we have to plan ahead and also put more into our company for maintenance. So you have your regular, what's cost to run the truck. So that's money that's automatically got to come out. Plus on top of that, you got to put stuff from your profit into the company as well, so you can plan ahead, and that helps you grow. So, and a lot of that goes into the fact that when you break down, you ain't running, so you ain't making money. So there's a lot of people that right now that are desperate when it comes to rates. They'll haul stuff for very cheap, and they usually do go out of business very quick because they want to haul stuff for cheap and they're not taking into consideration what the cost of running is. So when they do that, it kind of burns them, but at the same time it turns around and causes other companies to basically swoop in and grab that stuff later on. So you lose your customer, you lose your company. It ain't good to haul cheap. I would rather sit at home than haul something that's going to make me go out of business. I'll sit and wait for a good paying load. Luckily, and I'm blessed by this, the company I work for, my dispatcher is very good at what he does. He will not go after anything cheap, so we never have to worry about that. He takes really good care of all the owner operators in the fleet, and we never have to sit. So right now I'm on a 34 reset on my own accord because I ran east, I ran out of time. So that's a lot of what's going on with rates, and there's a lot of things with the rate that get affected by brokers. So brokers are basically guys that will sit at home, and you gotta bear with me, I don't like brokers. There are some good ones. I will say that there are some very, very good brokers that are very fair, and I don't mean this what I'm gonna say towards those ones. Those ones are great. There's a few of them out there that are great to work with. There are a lot that are what we call scabs, that they don't provide a good service. They lie to you, and they basically, I've caught a few of them where they're making like $600-700 off of us just for nothing. A good broker on a good load will take about $200 to $300 off of us for, say, 1,000 miles. Sometimes they'll do it for cross-country stuff. They'll do the same thing, about $300-400. And the cross-country stuff with miles pay pretty good. I mean, they're still paying us. Now, mind you, I haul different sections of my deck, so I'm an LTL kind of thing with my reloads. So I get paid for a spot on the trailer, not a full load. There are some guys that haul full load rates. Like, there are some loads that I will haul that are full load. Like what I have right now is a full load, and it's a full load rate. But when it comes to the spots, you have to pay for that spot. So in that, I'm looking for roughly about $1 to $1 and up, I would say, for each spot on my trailer. At least what I want to try to make for that spot. So there's a lot of guys that haul 50 cents for a spot, and it's scary. But you know, there are the brokers, like I say, that are pretty good. They're always available if there's problems, and we run into a lot of problems with the freight that I haul, because I haul cars and I haul trailers. As you can see, I got a trailer on here. But that's kind of what we deal with. We have to deal with these brokers that they don't want to answer our calls, they don't want to help us, they don't want to do anything. They just give us the load and say, figure it out for yourself. And then they get mad because when we figure it out for ourselves, if it's not the way they want it, then they get mad. And it's like, well, do your job. So, but you know, our job is to get there, communicate pickup, and communicate deliveries. We're not supposed to work out any other details other than, hey, we're going to be there at this time, please have it ready. And then we turn around and tell you, hey, we're going to be there at this time to deliver it. make sure somebody's there, and if we have to collect money, hey, make sure that money's ready. We got a lot of time, a lot of other customers. We don't want to sit around. So, but there's a lot of these brokers, when we can't get a hold of the customer, they don't want to try to give us any more info. They're like, why are you calling us? So, we do have a lot of that headache when it comes to brokers. And those are usually the guys that are taking that huge chunk of like 50%. I've seen brokers that take 50% of these loads. And I get they have broker's license, broker's insurance, different things that they have to cover with overhead power and stuff like that for internet so that they can post these loads. But there's got to be some transparency, and there's got to be some communication between them. So that's all I ask on that aspect. But that's kind of what it is with brokers and things like that. But then you have our freight that is non-brokered. Now, for companies, I usually try to suggest, if you can work something out with a transportation company, try to. I mean, it's always better to have a direct transportation company than to have to deal with freight brokers, because freight brokers, they don't know the equipment. They don't know who you're going to get. So you could get totally screwed. You could have a load that requires a step deck, and the truck that shows up has a flatbed, or has a Conestoga trailer, which is a trailer with a tarp that rolls across the rail. You could have any sort of equipment show up, and the broker, it's not their fault. They don't know what the guy has. And some of these guys are desperate for freight. They're just going to tell them, hey, I got this. I got that equipment. I got this. I'll make it work. They don't. So that's kind of where the problems that come with brokers, where if you have somebody that has the equipment that you want, does provide a good service to your company, and can provide good communication, I think that's a big thing to shop around for, and then can give you a good rate that we can all agree on is good. Now, when it comes to rates, especially when the economy's really rough and with freight dropping down, businesses like to run to the trucks and turn around and tell the trucks, like, hey, we need to lower the rate. Well, you're taking money out of my pocket, my family's food off our table, to support your business. That's not fair to us. Especially if we're already giving you a fair rate, because we're feeling the same pressures that other businesses are in our stuff, and we can't just turn around and eliminate our cost. It doesn't work that way. So there's a lot of that stuff that happens where we've got to go back in, renegotiate a rate. Now, if there's fluctuation, sure, let's do it. But I think a lot of these people need to go back to the manufacturers and say, hey, we're struggling right now. Is there a break? Is there something you can do for us? Now, that's going to be a hit and miss. I mean, that's a total hit and miss, especially the way our economy is right now in the country. And, these businesses, don't take me the wrong way, they don't have to give breaks. They don't have to give sales. They don't have to do any of this stuff. But if we all work together as a business, then yeah, there's a possibility that, different things can come down, different rates can come down. But there's a lot of places, especially in the field that I run, that they turn around and want a break on the rate, or they want to drop it down to where I'm breaking even, and they don't have any understanding of that. They don't care. And they turn around and they'll tell us, well, so-and-so will do it for this. Well, all right, then so-and-so needs to go do it for that. And we usually let that customer go. And usually what we see is when we do that, that customer comes back within 2-3 months later. Oh, so-and-so went out of business, and now we're dealing with this issue. Sorry, my nose is itching. I apologize. But anyway, so that's kind of what we see happen a lot. You take out of the transportation, you try to take out of the rate, and then you have the issue of problems with finding a new transportation company. So Anyway, so this is the loads that I was saying that we're hauling. These are equipment that we haul. Basically taking these to their new home and basically getting these done. And this is my joker of a friend here that I'm running with. So anyway, we'll give you a good view of our rigs and what we run here, and getting ready to take off for the day. But here's his truck here and my truck here, and sitting here just chilling out, getting ready to leave for tonight. We're gonna head down to where we gotta deliver in the morning. And you got anything to say about rates and how rates are?
Fucking terrible.
Watch your language. As you can see, he's our problem child. But yeah, that's what goes into rates, and that's what we deal with. And it's kind of a headache trying to figure stuff out and make sure that, you know, things are fair for everybody. And that's the biggest thing. Nobody's out here to screw anybody over. We're just out here to make a living. You know, trucking's already hard as it is. It's a hard lifestyle, and it's hard to be out here on the road away from loved ones. And, you know, we don't want to do it for free. That's the biggest thing, is we want to make a living and, you know, get home safe and be with our families and take care of our stuff that we need to at home. But we're out here and we got to get paid fair. So, but I hope everybody has a blessed Sunday, and take it easy. We'll see you on the next one.